Start the recording. And good evening, everybody. Shawn Michelle Poe, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Michelle is actually not around tonight. She's with my niece in Chicago. They're celebrating her 16th birthday, so they're out having fun. Not sure what all they're up to. It's a girls' trip, so I probably don't get to know. But exciting times coming up. We have Orlando coming up very, very shortly for Elite Academy, and it is going to be a monumental event. Lots of announcement, lots of changes coming up, and we cannot wait for you guys to find out everything, be on the same page. But it was earlier this week that some of the announcements started to roll out. So if you are anxious to hear about what's going on, I would plug into Facebook, because that's typically where you're going to find secrets start rolling out, whether it's on the official Facebook page or ours, One Person Big Difference. Lots of stuff coming out that there's little rumblings coming up. We will definitely go over in very detailed fashion all the changes when we get back. But until then, I'm just going to leave you in anticipation of what all is happening, because I want you to be in Orlando to see it for yourself. We just ended the month, and we're into October already. We had some amazing rank advancements, and we also had some people that really busted their tails over the last several months to qualify for the most recent incentive trip that's going to be happening the beginning of December in Cancun, Mexico. And I know we have several of the winners on the phone or on the Zoom right now. We've got Marisa. Congratulations, Marisa. Charlotte Sherwood. Her and her husband won the trip. Brooke. She also was a trip winner. And we have John Jelinek out of North Dakota. So at least 4 from our group that we know of as well. Michelle and I cannot wait to celebrate with you guys. None of these trips are set up easy. They take a lot of hard work, a lot of planning, and a lot of just effort to make it happen. So congratulations to you guys, and we're so proud of the effort and the hard work that you put in to get this done. So with that, tonight, as always, on Sunday, immediately after our call, we have the corporate call, and it's going to be Master Pro 10, Dr. Skip Campbell. You can always find this information at bigbluecalendar.com, where all of our meetings should be located. Just go to the Sunday. It's going to be highlighted in red. Team training and update call is what it's listed at. It's got the phone number there, which is 712-432-0075, access code 887931. So that'll be immediately following this call in 25 minutes. For those of you that weren't on early and didn't hear me announce it, tonight we're just going to do a Q&A format. So if you have questions you would like me to answer, just type them into that chat box. And if something pops in your head as we are going through all of this, just open up that chat window and let me know what we can talk about and how we can help. So let's get the first one. I think we should talk about some of the apps briefly. That would be awesome. And Marisa, if you want to take this, I'm going to unmute you and make sure that you agree that you want to take this one.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I'll talk a little bit about it. I'm not an expert, but I'll be happy to talk to you a little bit about what I have. I don't know if you can really see my screen as it's blowing up with text, but so I have, my apps in one little folder, okay, my LifeVantage apps. And I use the, sometimes I have to which one is it? Because it takes a little bit of, time. But if you're not using these apps, you don't have to be a techie. I'm not really a techie, but I'm learning, I'm learning how to do things. I'm going to sign in on the LV Move app. And if you haven't downloaded that, you really do need to download it. And I'm logging in right now to it. And my last 3 distributors, I got three new distributors on the Platinum Pack in September. And of course, this took months to get, right? it's planting the seeds and letting it develop, whatever. And so now I'm putting, these people, there was a couple, so I added the wife to my app, and you can, I mean, we're not sharing the screen, and I think it's probably glared, but there's a place when you go to the LifeVantage Move app, you can go to the bottom, let's see, and go to the bottom, and it has like home, there's a home page, there's contacts, and you can add people to your contacts. And when you add them, you have to have their phone number written out on a piece of paper and their email, because it doesn't just copy and paste it really smoothly. So you have to manually add that in there. And then they're already in there, and then it just sets it up. It automatically just sends them a welcome to LifeVantage, and it's an automated way to connect with people, and it gives them homework every single day. I think it's like 16 or 18 lessons, and then you get feedback that so-and-so is on day one, and you can click on the details of, what, like, for instance, Anthony Wallace, one of my new distributors, I can go to the history, and there's a little arrow, just play with it. And there's just a little arrow, and you can press that little arrow, and it tells you, good morning, Anthony. Today we're going to cover one of the most powerful tools at your disposal, social media. And it just tells him a little bit of what to do. It's got a video link, social media basics, and a download for tips for social media. So you can download these PDFs. You guys, this stuff is huge, from three-way calling, how to database, how to do the three-way call and make that transition smooth. I'm learning from them. I'm learning from listening to them. And I know we're busy and we're all pulled in different directions, but make this part of your personal growth development in the morning. You're going to do one of these in the morning, so that you understand what your new distributor is going through. And the cool thing is at the bottom right, it'll say share at the bottom right of that screen. And you can see we have product videos, and then it's the launch video. And the launch videos are basically everything that they learn. It's the tutorials. It's introduction, who should I talk to, 10 in motion. I love the 10 in motion. I didn't even know what that was. And it's about, you always want to have 10 in motion. You want to have, not just people that you're thinking about the business that are in one group, one like all yoga instructors. No, you want to have different people in that 10 in motion. And those include customers too. You have to have a solid customer foundation. Icebreakers, setting up a three-way call, leading a call, if I would you, product sharing. But then also a cool thing is the little triangle. I'm not sure, it looks like a less than and greater sign with little circles. If you click on that, or actually, I'm sorry. You can message somebody or email them these links, which is awesome too. And a lot of times I'll say to my friends or people that I'm meeting, my new prospects, hey, we've got this really cool app, and I'd love to just send you a video of kind of our product line and show you what we have. And they're like, sure. And it's just so cool because you can write your own little thing, and then all of a sudden that product video is there. And that's what I love about the video library is product video is everything, all of our products, including at the very bottom, or not at the bottom, but the overall product video, but it has stuff on physique, what is nutrigenomics, what Nerf2 is. But if you go to the launch tab at the far right and you scroll to the very bottom, it's the ABC Primetime, which links to your website. And you can text that to somebody if you want. So that's the LV Move app. We have LV Pro, we have LV Share. The Share, I won't get into all that. I think that might be a separate one. But that's social media, and that's how to, share different types of genres that the company has set up for us, whether it's product or whether it's about opportunity or whether it's about just how to stress less. And so you can start setting yourself up on the social media pages as someone who is, very inspired by whatever it is. And you might write a little line above that, and you can launch it right away, or you can give it an ideal time, which then the computer does it for you. And there's a calendar in there too. I just say you guys play around. Don't be afraid. Just play around. Click, That's what I'm having to do. And we get kind of scared sometimes. Oh God, what do I do next? What do I do next? So, that's kind of what I would play around with. And the LV Pro, I'm adding distributors. I've added people for this app. On the LV Pro, you can do enroll, and you can enroll people, and it's very simple and seamless. So I just say, don't always wait for, I don't have my computer up, or you don't have your distributor form with you or whatever. But this LV, LV Pro is great. What I need to work on that LV Pro is, I think that is the one you can put your contacts in. And as we add more contacts, I'm not real good with how to do all that. So maybe even Shawn can share, like, how do you keep your contacts up to date? So that's kind of it for me for a little bit. If that's good for you, Shawn.
I'm on
I
mute.
can't hear you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you guys, if you want duplication in your business to really go down into your group, using tools like this that everybody's doing the exact same thing is going to be vital to that. We know that it's very easy for things to get changed and, just tweaked a little bit, and then somebody else changes it a little bit again. And then before you know it, it doesn't look anything like the original. So these tools are truly going to help people with that duplication process to say, here's the information, here's what I do next, here's the steps that I do in follow up, and everything that's going to help you build your business. So, 5 years ago, we couldn't even imagine having the technology to do this. But it also, I understand, when you have new technology, it can be frightening to people that have been in the business for a while and aren't used to it, getting used to it. And even for those that might be newer, just using the technology itself. So I would encourage you, if nothing else, is to team up with somebody else and just go through where you can send them the information, they can send you the information, and you start to see what it's used for and how you can integrate it better into the daily activities that we should all be doing. So thank you so much for going through that, Maurice. I know that, I'm not up to snuff with it as much as I should be, but it's something that I know Michelle has used quite a bit in getting new distributors just on board and feeling like they have the tools and the information right away, and in a manageable format as well, where it's not just 500 links to different information and then we don't really talk about it again. It's sending them daily activities for them to get acquainted over the course of 18 modules or 20 modules, whatever it is. So it's just little chunks on a daily basis for the first couple of weeks. So I love that. I love that tool. Go ahead.
Well, and also I think if you go to YouTube, and maybe it's even on our website, I'm a little confused with how the videos are on our website. It seems a little hard to find what you might, but it would be neat if they could have a section on our website in the distributor library or whatever that shows the training. And I know there's a video down at the bottom when you first log in, but it's like maybe the video of the week. But Ryan Goodwin has a lot of videos on our training apps that you can find on YouTube too, or maybe LifeVantage channel. Maybe it's Vimeo. I don't really know, but I know they're available because he has done training for us before. Yeah. And I would, you can pause it, which is awesome. So if you have it on the YouTube video, training video on your computer, and then you actually have your app, you can, stop when you need to, so you can process on your own time. Because sometimes, it takes a minute to, where exactly is he talking about? So you can pause it yourself and then find it and then start it again and really teach yourself.
Yeah. And he's super open to feedback and, getting easier things in our hands. So I would definitely mention to him any critique or, betterment that we can have of the system and clean it up as people get more acquainted to it. This would look a little bit better for us as distributors. Just email him at mrg@lifevantage.com, or, while we're in Orlando, get 5 minutes of his time between sessions, something like that. But he's definitely always open to feedback that anybody has. So thanks again, Marisa. And the next one we have asking about duplication. How do we create duplication? It's one of the things that I struggle with, because I feel like I'm doing all the right things but not inspiring the same. And you guys, you got to think of network marketing as any other job or profession, that there's some people that come in and they're just going through the motions. They're really not treating it like a business. They're not treating it like anything other than a hobby. And it doesn't take a lot of the right people, but it definitely does to really get this to develop. You do need like-minded people that see it like you see it, and that are going to do the necessary things. But it's all a filtering process. So at first, when we bring somebody in front of the information, we're finding out if they're a yes, a no, or a maybe. Okay, the no's, we ask them permission to keep dripping on them over the course of time as new studies come out, new products are launched, financials come out, things like that. Every couple of months, we're getting something in front of them. The maybes, we're just finding out what questions they have so that we can answer them, so that they know if they're a yes or a no. And then the yeses, that's when we're filtering to, are you a distributor or are you a customer? 85% of Michelle and I's business is customer-based. We love that because we don't want to have to remotivate people month after month after month. We want to work with the people that want to be distributors. So the next filtering process comes in when they get into your business. Are they going to do the necessary action to get from distributor to Pro 1? Are they going to follow the system? Are they going to be coachable? Do they have a burning desire? Things like that. Do they have a good work ethic? Are they going to carve out the necessary time that's needed to build this? And for the most part, a lot of people aren't. And that's just a fact of life in general. People get involved in stuff all the time, and they have good intentions, and life happens, and they don't plug in like they think that they're going to. So that's really the first filtering process of new distributors, is getting them excited and getting them the tools like LV Pro, where they're getting the information on how to build this, but also doing this business with them. We don't build this business for anybody, but we build it with everybody. Okay, everybody that's plugged in and wants to do what's necessary. So that's where I would start to say, when you find the person that's willing to do what you're asking them to do at the beginning, to roadmap out what they need to do to get where they want, both financially and on the health side of things, and to fulfill their whys, that's when we start to find somebody that you can create duplication with. For the most part, over 50% of the new enrollments that happen in LifeVantage across the board happen with people within their first 30, 60, 90 days. Most of the time, once people have hit that 90-day mark, they're out. They're not plugged in anymore. Something came up, something else was shiny and got their attention, and they're not doing this anymore. So what you've got to do when that new door opens with a new distributor coming to your business, assume that they're going to be gone in 90 days, and you have to work with them as fast as possible to open up as many doors as possible before that door closes. Does that make sense? That we want to get into their database and find 2 or 3 levels down of doors that open up with new people that we can find. Are they going to be the people that actually duplicate this process? And that's what we do, is we continue to work with the people that want it, and we're here in the meantime for everybody else as they have their own journey, but we're not pouring into the people that aren't pouring back out. You've got to create that duplication by proper behavior, doing the same things that you know you're supposed to do. Even if it doesn't seem like anybody else is following, continue to do those behaviors over and over. And part of this as well, I didn't expect this at first, but part of this is just personal development and personal growth. Finding out what it takes to be a leader. what it takes to get people to want to follow you, what it's going to take to show people that you are successful, you know what you're talking about, and they can have the same success by following the system. Sometimes that happens rather quickly for people. Sometimes it takes years. Rachel Jackson, I remember her on stage saying the first 5 years of network marketing or whatever it was, she didn't make a dime. But then the second 2 years following that, the sixth and seventh year, she went on to make millions. And the fact of the matter was she probably had a lot of development that needed to happen for her to be in the right place to do this and build it properly. And I'll argue with anybody that tells you as soon as you get a distributor, you're a leader. That's not true. That is absolutely not true. All that happens when you get a distributor is you get the platform to step up into a leadership role, but it's up to you to do the necessary actions to become the leader. It doesn't automatically make you a leader, okay? So those are some of the things that I would say as far as creating duplication. We all wish it would happen faster and sooner and better. But it doesn't take very many people is the key to all of this. Michelle and I say this over and over again, we've brought in 60, 65 people in 5.5 years. If you calculate how many months 5.5 years is, that isn't a lot of distributors that we've brought in, basically one a month. And out of those 65, maybe 6 or 7 have treated this even like a part-time business. Okay, so out of those, 65 people, 5, 6, 7 people treated it part-time or full-time business. And out of those people together with us, we've developed a business of over 20,000 people doing over $5 million in sales a year. So that's, I think, the positive of all of this is, yeah, it's hard to find the people that are going to duplicate, but when you do identify them, they're going to blow up your business really fast and it'll start to double and triple and quadruple almost overnight. So keep looking for them, uncover the stones, find out who is, who isn't, and work with the ones that are willing to do it. So hopefully that helps with that. Let's see, we got some congrats to everybody that won the trips. When you have trouble getting people to get them in front of the information, what wording can you use? Everybody's going to be a little bit different on what works for them and what doesn't, and I would find out from as many people, especially at events like Elite Academy, what they use to invite people and to find the phrasing that's going to actually work for you. A lot of my friends initially, honestly, all I was saying was, what are you doing Tuesday night? Or what are you doing Thursday night? And if they told me nothing, they were going to see the information. Okay, I had a good enough relationship with them that if they had already told me nothing, they weren't going to tell me no, they're not going to carve out 30 minutes of their time. So that's first of all what I would do for the people that works and you have a good enough relationship for them is, don't dump the information on them prior, just set up the time that you can do it. With other people, getting the information in front of them, it's going to take a little bit more time. It's going to take follow-up. It's going to take consistency of, your excitement, your passion. That's more important than the wording itself, I think, is your excitement and your belief in what you have your hands on. And we talk to person after person after person. When we ask them why they signed up, they say, because my friend was excited. Okay, it's not because of the science. It wasn't because of the compensation plan. It was nothing more than they were excited and I wanted to see what they were excited about. And that's why I gave it the opportunity that I did. So don't overestimate your excitement versus the exact wording that you're going to need to get this information in front of somebody. But, just continue to follow up. Talk to other people, especially at Elite Academy, find out what they're saying and see what works for you. And some of this, just experiment with. We can always clean up the messes later. It's better to try things and see what feels good and then evaluate afterwards than sit there and be paralyzed by fear of, I'm going to say the wrong thing. So people are pretty forgiving. I think we can clean up a lot of messes. Michelle and I did that the first couple of years, going back to people saying, we didn't do this right at all. I really didn't do this well enough. And I want you to at least know what you're saying no to in the proper way. So we did that a lot too. I have paid for LV Pro. Can I add my new distributors so they can use it? So everybody, I believe, gets a couple of weeks of LV Pro for free. New distributors, I believe it's 2 months, but there is a period of time that you get it for free. You can send anybody the information. However, for them to in turn use it and have their own dedicated number that these text messages and emails are coming from, that's the part of the service that they have to pay for. So anybody can receive the information. It's just utilizing it in your business to get it in front of people. That's where they're going to have to spend into their business. I don't know. We paid the yearly process or the yearly part for it. I think it was like $7 a month or something like that. So keep in mind that, some of this technology, like the texting, for example, that comes out of LV Pro, it's actually using its own phone number. So the company is paying for those types of things for you to have this technology, and that's why we're paying a monthly fee on it. It is so that it has that added portion to it, like the texting that wouldn't be possible if we didn't have separate phone numbers for that. So Rich Scott says he uses it a lot. He loves it. Let's find one more that I can go through. How did you and Michelle get to Pro 7 so fast? Neither of you had done the business before, right? So we had a burning desire to do it. We ran with kind of dumb blinders on. We didn't really stop to evaluate what we were doing right and wrong. We just went. And we hit Pro 7 in 12 months to the day that we signed up, and we hit Pro 8 in 24 months. So, you can go fast. There's a lot of people that have come in and done it faster than us since that period of time, but it wasn't like we had a set number of people that we called on a daily basis. It wasn't a set number of meetings that we did. We just carved out as much time as we possibly could and pushed as much LV activity into it as possible on a weekly, daily, monthly basis. So we weren't judging anything, but any free time that we had was dedicated to this, and we sacrificed a lot, you guys. Okay, it wasn't like that, we hung out on Sundays and I watched the Broncos play for a couple of years. I didn't do that, and that was a sacrifice that I was willing to put in, to get to a 6-figure salary as fast as possible and get out of Citibank. Getting to Pro 8, we knew that the average Pro 8's earning $20,000 a month. That's life changing for people. Now fast forward where we are 5.5 years into this, and I'm not saying this to brag about anything that we've done, but we have a monthly residual income that if God forbid something happened to my wife or my kids, I could walk away tomorrow and we're set up forever. So that's where I see that initial carving out of time. We were busy. Okay, we had an online business, 2 little kids, both had full-time jobs, a lady living with us from Spain. We had no hours in our day. However, we decided to readjust things so that we could make this fit into it, and we prioritized it towards the top of our list. Okay, there were some things that we weren't willing to sacrifice on, but for example, a couple months after we signed up, I had a family reunion up in Canada that we chose to cancel and not go to because we needed to build the business. And, some of my family didn't like that, but at the same time, they're not the ones that are paying my bills. Okay, I wasn't the dad I should have been. I wasn't the husband I should have been in the corporate environment. I wanted a way out, but I also had to replace that income. And that's really what we, wanted to do. And we just ran like crazy and came up for air months later. And all of a sudden, 4 months in, we hit Pro 4. August, we were Pro 4. And then by November, we were Pro 6. We had $54,000 in volume in November. It went down actually in December. We weren't paid as a Pro 6, but January it went back above Pro 6 to $64,000 in volume. February, it went to 86,000 in volume. In March, it went to 114 in volume. So over the course of 4 months, we went from 50,000 to 114,000 because we plugged into the system and we had a couple other people that were willing to do the same. And that's where we poured our time and energy into it. And I can tell you, if you would have seen the opportunity meetings that we did at the beginning, they were horrible. Okay, Michelle, when she gets nervous or excited about something, she gets bright red, her chest is red, her neck's red. Dr. Gordon was sitting up there drawing molecules on a chalkboard, talking about God knows what on the science side. And then I just randomly said some stuff about business. Okay, it wasn't like it is today. We've done that presentation now thousands of times, and it's more polished, but we just didn't wait for anybody else to build our business. We took the initiative, and if we got extra help, great. That was just a bonus, but we took the initiative of if there wasn't going to be a meeting or a training, we were going to do it. So last thing I'm going to say, and then we'll let people jump off to get on to the other call with Skip, is can you do a webinar soon on the comp plan? I will end with this. Have a great week. We will see you in Orlando. Those of you that are going to Orlando will see many things on the compensation plan, and there will be, I think, more tools that we have at our disposal that will go through the compensation plan in huge detail. So stay tuned for that. I promise you, I am the one person that will talk about the compensation plan in great detail. However, today's not the day. Be in Orlando. You're going to see some amazing stuff. Safe travels to everybody. We can't wait to be around hundreds and thousands of like-minded individuals who are just on fire to get that shot of adrenaline that we need to make it through the next couple of months. Focus now. The summer's over. People are back into their routines, and they're ready to make decisions. So all the activity that happens in October, November, and December, set your business to explode January through May. So now is not the time to say, well, I'll wait. Okay, October, November, and December will set your 2017 up for success. And the more people you get this exposed to between now and the end of the year, I promise you, you'll be thanking yourself in 2017. So with that, have a great week, and we will see you guys in Orlando.